Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and a good wherever you are. My name is JP here at Websites for Beginners, and this is a first look video of Nectarblocks. And Nectarblocks is, I believe, a plugin or add-on or, yes, that for the Gutenberg editor. So yes, we're going Gutenberg direction, and there are many people who do not like it. My problem is I'm fascinated by new things. First of all, this is a first look. I've not touched this platform. I can see there's a demo we're going to try. And the idea is that I'm just going to go through this. You can let this play in the background for some sleepity sleep, something that to put you into a coma if needed. But the idea is that if you're interested, you just want to have a look. I'm going to walk through this, do a first look, hopefully not longer than an hour. And then if interesting, then maybe in the future, I'll do a few tutorials on this. Yes, I like WordPress. I also like other platforms, but I do enjoy new stuff. It tickles my fancy big time. Remember to subscribe. Also give this video a like. Now let's start with Nectarblocks. I saw Nectarblocks. I'm not sure where. Maybe it was an advertisement on Facebook, and I've been checking it out. It is a professional website builder that works with the core WordPress block editor. Crafting stunning websites has never been easier. Now, we know that WordPress has seen many come and go. We had Quickie, right? Quickie, Clicky, Wiki, and I thought it was going to be huge. I tried it a little bit. I was really impressed with all the development that went into it. And then, earlier this year, these guys were gone. Now, what they have here is responsive editing. Very happy about that. We're going to look at it. Simple global styling, animations, and effects. This is such a huge selling point, and I find animation and effects on websites so distracting. People have this idea that if something moves on your website, you're going to get 1 million new visitors. It's not true. And you can just go to Apple, Amazon, and all of these websites that are making billions of money and see how much movement there is on their sites. Almost nothing. I'm again on a tangent there. Right, so we have features, design and build, right? Animations and effects, performance and SEO, and there's even a Nectarblocks theme that they provide for this that will work very well with this add-on. But you can also use your own theme. We have resources here, blog, blah, 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 and then templates. Okay, they've got templates. This is something that many people will be interested in. We'll have a look if we can work with that. Nectar Solutions. So 3 templates, it seems at this moment, and we'll definitely get more. And then from the bat, let's have a look at the pricing. Professional, so it's going to run you $80 a year. Currently, it is at a discount of $50, and then agency is $250. If you just need that one website, then it's going to run you $50 a year at this moment or $80 in the future. But if you want up to 1,000 websites, it's going to be $250. I also find it very interesting that the concept of unlimited has really disappeared, as people know that model doesn't work as well as it used to work in the past. A lot of questions here, but let's go and have a look at how this works. I'm going to click here on Try a Demo. And this is going to open Nectarblocks demo. Get ready to experience the future of WordPress. We've heard that from WordPress many times too, right? Okay, let me sign up. Website for beginners.io. Subscribe to not now, thank you. And then proceed, starting the installation. Great, so it's going to set up basically, I wonder, we'll have a look at it. So let's have a quick getting started with Nectarblocks. To start creating page, you can add blocks, blah, blah, blah. The net blocks, next, right? Meet the template library, that's great. Global settings, we're going to look at that. Block settings. To access settings for a block, simply click on the settings icon while the desired block is selected. The desired block. And then responsive and hover modes. Okay, so a nice little intro with these videos, and it's time to start building. And here it starts already with a page. So this is your demo that they give you. So let's have a quick look at the things that we are used to. And that is that we have the toolbars up here. We have where you can add blocks, and we can see that we have Nectarblocks up here. Nicely done, colors, and a number of blocks there. And below that, we have the Gutenberg WordPress regular dudes showing up for the performance. Then we have the template library, which they've been waxing lyrical about. We have blocks here, call to action. Let's see how many we get here. Yeah, I think there's still room for improvement here. These days, there was a time when these blocks and patterns and pre-made templates was a really pro feature, and you got one or two, you paid like $75 per layout. But nowadays, if you don't have many, you kind of are behind the bar. So good ones here. I like it. I like these kind of minimalistic design. So this is right up my alley. Let's close that. Okay, so up here, responsive design, we have that. It tells us also the breakpoints for it. I always wish that there is a shortcut key that we can get when we are in the Gutenberg editor that will allow us to cycle through this without having to go and click every time on it. What is this one? Hover state. Okay, so there's also the hover state. And if you have a hover state like this, I wonder if it's like many of the page builders we've seen that allow you to apply this on anything on a global scale. Then this is standard. Here we have also, again, the normal WordPress responsive. And then is your preview over here, Nectarblocks settings. And I believe there's a lot of stuff here from what I've seen. They've got global colors. I like how this is done where you can add. So you've got global colors. I can collapse that. Global typography and Nectarblock guide. I'm curious, what theme am I using here? We can go have a look soon. Now, let's do that now. It is saved. Let's preview this page to see what happens. Right, this is the page. We have a nice header at the top, and I believe there's going to be massive amounts of animation on this page. If I look at the templates in their own website, it's all about animation. Okay, I'm not going to comment every time about the animation. I just don't like things constantly moving. And the reason why I don't like it is I go to a website for information, not to stare at the animation. And when I have something that moves out of screen and I quickly want to find it, it's like, oh, up, down, especially if you have those websites where you have the section that's almost like a slideshow and you are not sure where you are because your cursor on the right doesn't move up or down, but these slides keep happening. I'm not sure what this trend is because on mobile devices, totally impractical. Speaking of, let's have a quick test. I'm going to copy this and open Sizzy. I copied the URL. And this is from a previous tutorial. Let's just paste this and have a look at this stackable test and see how this will look on these devices. Okay, that's for our tablet. Looks okay. I like how it's performing on the mobile device. But there is really a jump. And this is why I'm thinking this has got everything to do with the animation applied. I'm not used to this kind of jump that's happening here. I'm not blaming this on Nectar or Nectarblocks. I'm blaming this on all the animation. And it's just another case for be careful of animation. It's just freezing. Okay, there we go. You see, this kind of thing really annoys me. Okay, I'm going to stop here. Each to their own, as I always say. Different strokes, right? Just don't stroke me with that. And I think it looks really good on the mobile, but for mobile, I will say this one more time. You have to remember people are using their fingers. They are scrolling up and down very quickly. A lot of this animation is complete like this. This is completely unnecessary on a mobile device, right? But I do like how it is responsive. Great job. And I'm pretty sure that if we go to the desktop devices, it's going to be okay. Oh, I've never experienced this. This is really new to me. Okay, this is MacBook Air. The reason it may be this slow, and I shouldn't be too harsh, is because I'm loading 6 devices within this developer app at the same time. And all of this animation is happening on 6 devices on the same time. So it's really going to slow it down. So I think I shouldn't be that harsh, but I like this layout. I love this layout. Love how it's done. I would have just dropped the animation entirely. and I won't say anything anymore about the animation. We're done with that. Let's go and click on customize and see where does this take us. And Freddie can get, okay, so we are going into the theme that they've talked about, the Nectarblocks theme, and we have all the theme settings here. And I believe there is no free version for Nectarblocks. So your theme is going to be a pro theme, which should include all those nice little toys and apps that we are used to in Pro should be here. Let's see styling. We have theme background, blah, blah, blah. And the colors for the global styling shouldn't be here because that's being done within the app. Functionality. All right. Smooth scrolling. All right. Smooth scroll strength, meta viewport functionality. Okay. So this is clearly a good Pro theme that's going to work very well with Nectarblocks. They've built it so that everything can work great together. Let's just have typography. Interesting navigation. That must be the header, logo font, navigation font, navigation. Right. So that's all about the header up here. And then we have page header, typography, and content elements. Right. Layout. I keep thinking, where is the typography? But let's exit here and remember what we saw when we went into Nectarblocks. I'm going to close this front end so we don't get confused. All of that you are used to that happens within the theme is going to happen right here on the page within the Nectarblocks settings up here. We had the global color. So where I would have expected the global colors usually to be in the theme customizer, not going to be here. This is not going to be the case. Same with global typography. And for people who are new, this may make sense. I'm so used to making sure that the blocks and the add-ons integrate very well with the theme, and then making all those typography and global settings within the theme and the customizer of the theme. But here, we're going to do it straight here. They call these rules. So, okay, this is core font rules and then custom font rules. So the rule is just a setting. If you click on it, ooh, nice little pop-up here, even a font preview. You can have your font source, uploaded custom fonts, and then all of these settings. Oh, this is nicely done. I don't think I see anything here that is missing. Let's have a look. We have viewport width, all of the values that you can dream of, from pixel to M to REM, REM, they're all there. Happy these things are there from the beginning. Some developers out there still don't get this. And then we have Nectarblocks guide. What is that? Looks pretty empty to me. Nothing there yet. I guess this will be documentation. So that's it. That's the settings. Now let's go on to the page. The very top of the page is Nectarblocks demo, and this should be the name of the page. One thing I realize here, if we go preview it again, is that the header doesn't appear here. So the header definitely is still a customizer theme area that you will have to go for that. But let's click on one of these blocks, text blocks, and see what's going on here. Open the pane here on the right of the inspector. First, have a look at this context toolbar. This is familiar, right? So we have this selector to go up in the list or down. Select parent block flex box. Ooh, we love the flex. Yes, let's click on the flex box and then select parent block column. Ooh, and then from the column, there's a row. And from select column, okay, so I'm going very high. Let's see what we've got at the top. So this is where I want to get to. What will be the main container? And what will be the name of that container? Every developer is doing this differently. I wish everyone could just stick to a section, because even though it's a row, yes, section just sounds right you are looking for. That takes us then into the blocks, accordion, button, carousel, all of these. There's the flex box, which I love. And then where is this row? This is going to be our main container. I don't see any other form of container here. So let's start with that column and just have a look at what we've got. I don't think this should be anything big. It should probably contain your alignment. You have full width or none. And then on the right, let's see what they've done with the inspector. Like this, normal layout style and motion effects. Under layout, you have your general settings. The size is full width or contained. And you can select contain content, which I'm a fan of, to have this white space on the left and the right. This is another interesting trend that confuses me a little bit. Again, it's probably I'm getting old. Let's save it and preview again the front. And what I'm talking about is websites that are running all the way from the left to the right. There is no white space. And I'm actually working here on an almost 4K monitor. I have no idea how big this is going to look on huge monitors. I think this design works, but there are people who write full-length blogs all the way from the left to the right, and it doesn't work. So this new trend of full width, it's okay. I'm just curious where it came from. I used to think we like to contain things. But anyway, so if you want the normal full width so that you can have a good background image and you want to contain the content, I will go for that. And the contained content, I believe that is being set within the customizer. Columns you can set here. That's great. You can work on the columns. There's your gap. Okay, good. All of this is there. Size, width, and height. What is this? Ooh, okay, this is great. We have minimum widths, maximum widths. These are things that I do like. And then display, you can set it to auto flex or none. That's more or less it. Let's just leave it on its default setting of contain content switched off. Under style, we have background. You have your color that you can use. You can use an image, video, or a shape. I'm curious, what is this? Oh, okay, so it's these kind of guys that are shape dividers for the top and bottom. You have your scroll animation, which will be parallax if you had an image for that. And then here are borders that you can apply. I do like a function like this. I've made a few websites where I needed borders for the sections, so really appreciate this. And I like this kind of setting. I know not everyone is crazy about it. Ooh, no, so that doesn't work. Let me see. This is our margin, and this is our padding. I get that. And what are these little, I keep seeing those little dots. So how do I increase the value? I click on it. That's it. 2%. Okay, and I know from percent we can probably go to pixels. So that is interesting. So what I find missing here at this moment is a reset or undo. Undo, I can probably just hit Control Z. Yep, I can do that. But many add-ons have a little reset here to a default value. On the other hand, this is a demo, so maybe this is not a template. But I like a reset. I mess things up all the time. I am very curious about that handle, that little dot that appears there that I just cannot get to. The moment I get to it, it disappears. What does that mean? Here we have link sites, right? So I get it. Can I drag it? No. So I'm not so sure why I have this. I need to type everything in there. Okay. I'll figure that out. I'll have to go to the documentation. Maybe my expectations are too high. Then we have position, auto, overflow. Under advanced, just CSS. And then motion effects, which is the one that I said I will not make a comment again. A lot of motion, add animation trigger, scroll into view, scroll position, and depending, of course, of what you are selecting, there should be more. This is just an entire block. Good. Let's build something from scratch. Now that we've got this kind of overview here, I'll go to the bottom. Let me see if I can get to a place where I can add something. All right, let's just go to our blocks, and we know we have to start with a row. Great. Okay, this is nice and big. I like this. And I'm going to go for a one column. Where are we now? And just like all of this, I have to click on it a second time, but that's very standard in the world of WordPress at the moment. Let's move this just up one. This should be the row at the bottom, right? Let's move it up one so that we have a little bit of space. This one is the one we are working with. And the first thing I'm going to do is bring a background image into it so that we can see it. That should be under style. And then we go to image. Right, these are the images that come with the demo. I'm going to bring in my own, which is a WebP. Let's see how it handles. Should be fine. Great. 1920 by 1280. And there it goes. It drops into the background. Let's see what are the settings. We have a selector here. Right. I was working on something this week where it still doesn't have a selector. Again, blows my mind. This is a decades-old feature. Every page builder should have a selector like this. So this little dot That's getting lost. Oh, the dot changes color. So it's probably a white dot with a blur haze. And then you have actually more control if you want to dial it in over here. You have your size. Attachment is scroll or fixed. So the fixed is going to give you the parallax effect. And you can apply an opacity. And there's your Z index. And lazy load is on. Right, so we close this. Now that we've loaded this, let's go to the row. Align it, and I'm going to put it on full width. And that takes us to the layout where we go to full width. Bring in a heading. Let me see if I type in heading, what do we get? We only get text. Let me try the text first and see. Sure. Now it's gone really small. Style. This cannot be it. Let me just have a look. Button, carousel, divider, flexbox, icon, image, iconless, image color, row, postgrid, milestone, star, tabs, text. So the text must be the heading. Let me see this one here. This is a text element. And how do they decide? Over here. Okay, I got it. Okay. Maybe you saw it. If you didn't, I'll show you now. Now I've selected text and I'm going to type in here, hello world. Oh, so original. And let's change the color. Can I do it from the context toolbar? Answer is no. So let's go to style and background color, inherit, but I'm going to put it on white. There we go. So we can finally see it. To the context toolbar here, I can align the text. I'm going to align it in the middle. And this is where we are going to see our HTML tags, assigning it to what is the state of this. So currently it's set to that P. I'm pretty sure that is P for paragraph. And we have 6 more. I'll go and drop it on H1. Now remember, unlike working with a customizer where you set this, we will be able to change this H1 value up here by going to Nectarblocks settings, global typography, and this should be our heading 1. So these are the core rules. Let's have a look now. If we make changes here, let's change the font. I'm going to look for our good friend Montserrat. It changed, but it didn't change on the page. Let's go for bold. This is heading 1, right? Yeah, it's heading 1. Let's say save. You need to save and then it translates onto the page. I would have liked it to, okay, so that's probably why you have the font preview here, so you can actually see it. I used to look at the page, but I get it, and I appreciate it if it's not going to roll directly onto the page. However, again, now I really wish there was a undo function here. Let's see, Control Z, Command Z. Google, nope, it's going to keep it. All it did is remove the assignment from a H1 to a P. I put it back. So I would like to see an undo function here in case I was playing around, which I was, and then mess up. Now we have the hello world, pretty much really good. Let's have a look at what else is here in the context toolbar. We have the change text element, stretch. Oh, me like. This is a nice one. And under this text highlight. Okay, this is very thoughtful. Why I cannot select it? Highlight type. Highlight type. Nothing is happening. Primary effect. Do I need to? Let me see. I first probably need to highlight it on the page. Let's go to highlight. Yes. All right. Me get it. And okay, cool. This could be useful. There's a thickness. And this could be useful as an animated thing if people were to add it. You see the highlight though is in the back. I wish there is an option here to bring the highlight actually to the front, but I'm going to remove it. I'm not a big one for this. You have your faux bold, you have italics, then you have your normal link. That's all WordPress related, plus footnotes, highlight, inline code, zoomity zoom. On the right, let's go back to the inspector, see what else. We have a background color that you can add. This is also good for a highlight. Where are we now? Oh, this is in the entire container. No, we don't want that. I thought it's going to be only background for the text, but that is the entire container. So if you only want it on the text, probably have to go with the flex box. Mask. I like a mask. Where is the mask? On the clip the background color image to the text. enabling this will, okay, so we have to bring in an image again. I'll show you. I like masks. Let's grab something that's going to contrast with that. I'll just grab this dark one. And then the moment we do that, close it out, we say mask. So you can see that guy. Let's change the image. It's a little bit difficult to see. Change image, and we go for something lighter. And you should see the mask much better now. There you go. Okay. Very nicely done. We're back to this that I cannot move. Let me see. Okay, I'm going to try. Nope. What I'm looking for and what I keep doing here is I'm looking for a scrubber, right? You're supposed to just be able to click and drag to the left or the right and scrub the value up and down like you're used to. But it seems I have to click on it and set it here. I can link the sides, but then it kind of feels to me that this has become kind of unnecessary. I really would like a scrubbing feature here. I'm so used to that. I'm going to try and scrub here all the time, and I'm just not getting that. Right, and then the rest is the same. We have corner radius here at the bottom. These are nice settings. All the standard bells and whistles that we expect. Let's see, add animation trigger. A similar animation trigger. Effects, transforms, opacity, blending, box shadow, filters. Okay, so we add all of these little things here. Great. Under this, let's look for something like a line. And I do have a feeling there aren't that many blocks here, so there's still room for many, many blocks. Do they have a line? I think they have a divider, but will the divider give me my lovable line? I don't think so. Here is the divider, right? Let me go to my list. Divider, okay. And the divider, let's see under layout, general, select a preset. There is a line, default, but I cannot see anything. Align it. Okay, there's the alignment. Does have a flex box effect, so we can probably make it bigger. Right, so I just want to check the presets again. Default, small gradient, full width, and invisible. I'm going to stick to dark, which is the default. And we have the colors over here. This is a color picker. Finally, I got so annoyed working on one of the tutorials this week saying color picker, but this is a color picker where you can click and select a color from the page. Me likey. So if I choose this darker color over here, that's it. Let's see then we go to size. And now I haven't played with this. So the height is going to be the thickness. I'm just going to type up. Nice. It creates that line for us. The width is set in pixels. We can set it to percentage, 40% of the container. Let's go and put it on 10% of the container. And then you have your minimum width and maximum width. And I know many people, they love this instead of working with the width and height using a minimum or a maximum value. And I believe that's it. That's all the divider can do. There's a lot of stuff that can still be brought in here, but I mean, that's what dividers do. Let's make it a little bit smaller. I'm going to put it down to 2. What I'm concerned about at the moment is this massive space that is added at the top and the bottom is that default padding. So let's go have a look. Oh, yes, I can see it here at 40. And it is linked. I'm going to put it on 0. Huh? Why it's not changing? Let me try again. 0. Hi? I cannot type in the value? Type. Okay. I cannot type in the value there. That doesn't make sense. I should be able to type the value here. No, I have to type it there. Here are a few presets. Oh, this is nice. 0, 5, 10, none. So if you quickly want something, you just select it. Let's select none, which is 0. I don't like pre-applied padding. I know it's a design layout thing that developers and designers do to give you that from the beginning, but I would probably prefer adding my own padding. Below this, let's bring in more text, and this time it's just going to be something like a subtitle. We now know that they don't have a heading, but they do have a text, so let's bring that in and try and place it. Now I've removed that, but I got away with it. And I'm going to bring in quickly some lorem ipsum text for that. Just copy this. Copy. And where are we? this one. Let's close these two. And back here. And paste it. Change the color. Let's also align it to the middle. Okay, not going to work this white. This one, let's make it black. Yeah, it's not going to work at all. We will have to apply some background or overlay. So let's go and do that. But before we do that, let's make this hero block bigger. Select block column, and then from the column, I will go to the grandpapa, the container, and let's see again size. So we have the size over here, your minimum width. Let's play with minimum width. In this case, I'm going to put it on pixels around 500. Why nothing is happening? It's width. Idiot. And then let's make it 500 height. There we go. And now we want to align our content in the center. So is that under layout? I don't see it. Go to style. So how do I get this to be center aligned? Is that, okay, let's see here. We have flex. I'm going to go flex and then I'll align it to the middle. All right. Is that how it should be done? Isn't auto will give you also positioning options? I'm not sure. I'm okay with this, and I'll actually put it on vertical and then justify. Okay, no, we're going to do it like this instead. Interesting. And here, when it comes to this, I really need a reset button. I play around with flex options a lot. So here is reverse. That's just reverse, not an undo. I would really like to have seen undo here, so that if I screwed up all of this flex and I don't remember where I started or which one did I select, and just to go back to the default where we all started. Very curious, is that how it should be done? I just want to select the column in this row and see if that also no. So the moment I want to start editing things in terms of its positioning and layout, you will need to go into flex or none. But I got there. Now that we are here, let's quickly have a look at responsiveness, because that's the one thing that's going to bother us a lot. Aitza. So yeah, these fonts take their responsiveness then from the Nectarblocks settings. And I'm curious if we go into the settings. So you can see we have the little selectors here that will jump between the different responsive views. And then we have changes shown in green. Okay, great. So good. We made provision for that. Now we just need to also align these guys. So we are here. Let me click on it again, open our settings. And what is the green? The green is probably the ones that you can change. I get it. Look there. There's a little reset. Reset to inherit from desktop. That's interesting. Reset to inherit from desktop. I'm just going to click. Okay. That is interesting. What happens if I hit Control Z? Okay, so that was the change. It was set to stretch over here. And then when you click on that, it's going to inherit from desktop. Reset. Okay. Strange. I'm not sure what I did here or how it works. Align. I thought it worked perfectly, but this is what I wanted. Can be done. And let's have a look then at the phone. I'm very curious about these breakpoints. Can we set that breakpoint ourselves? And here we have it. This time it's spaced properly the way I did, and it was inherited. Not sure why the tablet didn't inherit, or did I not look at the right thing? Good. So we have all the Flexbox options. So coming to that point, making sure that everything fits and looks nice within the row/section, you are going to work with the Flexbox. CSS grid, did I see anything like that? I doubt it. We have it's curious then this Flexbox that is within that. So this is usually where I start with something like a hero section. And what now? Okay. Do not likey, let's do it again. Yep, I should choose this one, Flex. Okay. Yep. That one I need to figure out. This is your growing pains and learning as you use a new tool. Did I screw that up, or is it a little bug? Usually you spend like an hour or two or even more to find out. Often it's not user error, it's a little bug, but I need to do this a few times to figure out whether it's me or whether it is our new friend Nectarblocks. And I say new friend because I'm liking this. I like a clean interface like this. I like things that work, and I like when things have been thought through. Now I want to apply an overlay. Can it be done? So we go to Style, and we have our image video, and I guess we're going to use the color as the overlay. Let's just scroll down to see what is here. Let's choose a color, purple. And I don't see anything. Accent. No. Overlay. No overlay. Overlay no. Motion/effects. Box shadow, filters, blending, opacity. I don't see the overlay. Is it here under the image? Contain. I don't see the overlay. Do they have an overlay on any of their images? This one looks like it has an overlay. Let's look at the. It says, like, you can see this isn't, and then that is dark. So how did they apply that? Solid, pick a color. Because I'm pretty sure if I change this color. Okay, yeah, the overlay is there. How do I get to it? Oh, and now what is the percentage? Where is this coming from? Let me see if it's motion effects. Not done here. Where? There. Opacity. Oh, okay. Sneaky. Let's do that. So we click here again, and I set it. So I go to image. No. Oh, okay. I get how it works. You are reducing the opacity of the image, and you're blending it with the background. Of course, that makes sense. I'm just so used to an overlay. Right. So to apply the overlay, you're actually not applying an overlay. You are reducing the opacity of your hero image, and that allows it to blend to the background. I got it, Bob. Yeah, now you're happy, right? Good, got it. For a moment, I wanted to say unusable, because if I don't have something that can create this kind of contrast that you need, then we were going to have a problem. But no problem. We found it. It works, definitely. I think we've kind of covered everything. The big questions will come in how this is going to play with a block, which I'm not going to go into at this moment, and also WooCommerce. These are usually the two big questions. I don't see modals yet, pop-ups. I don't see that, which is something that should come in. And I just have this gut feeling that there are a few blocks missing, but I haven't looked at them, and I don't want to waste time on that. If I see something like a milestone block, I think, okay, maybe something else. Scrolling marquee. All right. So interesting ones. We have tabs here and the accordion, which are things that we use. Carousel is there. That's great. And we've got icons. So, and then with the flex boxes, that's how you build up things like icon lists. Well, we have the list here, icon list. So that is there. I do think it should cover everything. Template library, we talked at the beginning, got some nice clean designs. That's good. Let's just exit. I'm going to save and go back to WordPress. And the reason for that is to see what they've done for this demo. Posts. They have a few posts here. So there is a post. Let's see if we go to the front. I'm going to control click if we have a block on the front. About Insights. Here are the other pages. The About Us page. Yeah. The full width. You see, I like this. This is contained, makes sense. And this as full width works for me. This new design is something I'm still trying to get used to. Old school or no school? And then Insights. What is Insights? Okay, something like portfolio maybe, but I don't see a block page here. Get started. Okay, this is going to, it's an outside link. Let's go to the posts which they've created here. Leveraging the power of AI to create Google ad campaigns. And I select it, and what we see here, okay, that's the title at the top, normal text, and all of this. Let's go have a look at how this blog post will look at the front. Okay, we are not totally surprised as what we see here. What I'd be curious is, would this be a theme setting or would this be a Nectar setting? And the answer should be it is a theme setting. So let's have a look at the customizer, how this is going to work with Nectarblocks theme. Here is the layout, post types blog. We have styling, block layout, masonry, standard. But this is this your block archive? Wait, let's go back. I don't see any. This is just, okay, single post. I guess that's where we are. Here is your block content width. So you can see at 700, pretty narrow, but I do like the pretty narrow for that. 800 is also nice, but I do like the 700. It's just much easier to read. Author link, you have author bio you can add here. So this happens in the category. What I would like to do, what is this Nectar? That isn't, where is our, okay, I'm going to save this, jump back. Where are we? Too many open. Let me close these guys out. Go back into WordPress, and I want to go to our pages, about, insights, and let's quickly add a new page. I want to call this our blog page, publish, because we have those singles there, but I don't want to go into a tutorial on this, but I'm just curious. Settings, reading. And then we go static page, post page is blog, save changes. And then let's go back to our pages and have a look at the blog view. Okay. And now we can go into customize and see how Nectarblocks handles all of these. Okay, the blog again. So styling, that will be for the archive, standard block, no sidebar, standard block with sidebar. All right, there's the sidebar. You can have a sticky sidebar. Nice, love that. Masonry block, and you have block spacing over here. Ooh, me like. Okay, this is nice. I really like it. Good. So they have quite a number, and I hope they can increase this a lot, because if you have this great add-on and it works so well with the theme you are working, you really need to make sure that you also give a lot of options within the theme. Now, if I had to quickly make an assumption and draw a conclusion as to what we've seen here, I think good to go. You can probably create a website already with this, especially if you are a big fan of all the animation. And those are going to be tutorials upon tutorials alone, just to get to grips of all those nice little slider effects that you can do. The early bird pricing is happening there. I'm not affiliated with Nectarblocks. I haven't even reached out to them. I am just tickled pink and curious to figure out what's going here. What I would like to see at this moment is actually a roadmap and what's coming up next. Okay, so I can see the roadmap. In progress is an image grid. Okay, cool. A dynamic data system with support for ACF, advanced custom fields. We all love that. And wait, so in progress, planned, and future ideas. Okay, so this tableau works from right to left, no problem. Then after these two, we have a taxonomy grid, portfolio demos, good, Lottie block, people love Lottie, and navigation builder. Add functionality to utilize Nectarblocks for navigation, created to unlock fully custom layouts, icons, and buttons, baby. And then future ideas is a dark mode. WooCommerce blocks it. Right, so not there with the WooCommerce yet, because definitely bring that in. Spline block. Add spline objects directly into the editor to create immersive 3D experiences, and then custom hover targets. Great, I think this can work. Recently completed, and there is also changelog. You can look at the releases, all of that is there. I'm happy with Nectarblocks. I think it's always good. Yes, it is good to have new blood in the market. This market is very volatile and it's very saturated at the moment. We see all developers crunching the numbers, where you used to have unlimited, then you could get 10,000 websites, then it became 1,000, then certain free features are moved only into Pro. Things are really, really tight. So it's great seeing new blood coming into the market. It also concerns me every time is the pie growing? And I had this discussion the other day with a number of developers insisting that the pie is growing. I'm not so sure. I'm not entirely sure if the pie is growing. If I say the pie is growing, to maintain your business, you need new customers. Is the curve of new customers the same as it was 5 years ago? I'm pretty sure the answer is no. If you think of everyone that came into the game, but also if you just think 5 years ago, how many page builders were on the market? If I think of how many new ones were added just in the last 5 years, right? So I hope Nectarblocks can be competitive. I hope they can be a contender. It's going to be about bringing in the features, bringing it in quickly and keeping up with the competitors and bringing that functionality for blogging and WooCommerce that's usually very, very important. Why people levitate towards WordPress, because that's what they're really, really good at. I like what I've seen so far. I'm definitely excited about the global colors and how it's integrated on the page. Going to see how all of this works and hopefully do a few more tutorials on that. Hope this was interesting to you and that it may have piqued your interest too. I know majority of people are not big add-ons or not big users of Gutenberg add-ons, but you still have a lot of integration sometimes with WooCommerce or blogging or other LMS systems that still uses the Gutenberg editor. And knowing that there are these blocks available makes it great. And what you get with this is not only the block, right? You get the theme as well that integrates very nicely. On the theme, I'm a big user of other themes like Neve and Blocksy, etc. And I do think that if I look at those themes and all the little glitter that has been added in the last few years, they will also have to step it up so that we can have that as well with Nectar theme or the Nectarblocks theme. I'm talking about, shop cart, little pop-ups showing you what's currently in your cart. Enough that, talk too much, not enough showy, and that brings us to the end of this first look, not a tutorial. Have a great day, have a good weekend, and I'll see you in the next one.